Hi everyone, I hope this video finds you well. Welcome to Healthy Accord, where the goal is to share how the spiritual world, the natural world, the cosmic world allow for us to heal ourselves accordingly. In today's recording, I will be sharing / teaching on the lunar days. So this recording is the first, which ushers the first lunar day. Allow me to take a moment to share with you who this is for. This is for those that are seeking spiritual guidance, specifically in the practical applications, as it supports their day-to-day activities. And that is what I came to find along my spiritual journey. This video is also for those that are interested or asking about shamanic, cosmic astrology. And although I am not expert in those, I still have so many questions, but the truth and the helpfulness that this lunar days has produced in my life, I just felt that I want to share it out there. Now, a lot more details are provided for you in the description of this video, which shares more on the website and the time zone. I am here in Texas, so my time zone of when the lunar day falls on will be different for yours depending on where you are in the globe. So I do encourage you to check the video description, as I do have enough details in there for those of you that have further questions. I have with me here my notes, so I will be going off of that, and more on my opinions and other things that perhaps that are more personal that you may have questions about. I'll save that until after this entire series. I encourage you to subscribe, as I will like this content, this information, to reach as many people as possible. Should you be curious to peek into what this is all about, I encourage you to just possibly observe, because as humans, that is one of the, ways that we can learn. That's how I came to learn about this information. I didn't jump in and just applied it. I first observed, and it took me 2 months of observing, and by the 3rd month, I knew there was a great truth at hand. So to get started, what I am speaking on has to do with the lunar days, moon days, if you will. We have our first day of the month, second day of the month, so on and so forth. Those are the regular normal days. And some of you may be aware that the moon has its cycle and it goes on to however many days. That information of the number of days of the month and the details involving in it, we weren't taught about it. But we are aware that the moon has its lunar phases and there are a certain number of days. May this video really be supportive to you who are wanting structure in your spiritual practice. You are wanting for things to make sense, especially on some days that you turn left, you turn right, things don't make sense. I'm not here to promise you much of anything. I can just tell you or advise you to observe based on the lunar days and the guidance and the wisdom from the cosmos, which is infused in these lunar days. I encourage you to observe this information. To get started, the lunar days that, we are starting with the first lunar day. Day 1, the new moon. The new moon is when we notate the first lunar day. So that would be, now this recording is pre-recorded so that I am giving enough time and energy to speak on all those other days. So the new moon here in the United States, specifically Texas, for me, is on Thursday, the 6th of June. The 6th of June starts the new moon. That's the first lunar day. The cosmic guidance does say on the first lunar day, one should do their best to avoid group work. I will save any and all commentary and advice and tips. I will save it for later after I've given you, what the cosmic guidance is asking us to do on these specific lunar days. On the new moon, the first lunar day, don't do group work. Do not plan and engage in new businesses. It is advised to read historical literature on the first lunar day, the new moon. It is also advised to refrain from engaging in or meeting people for first dates on the first lunar day, new moon, to avoid crowded spaces on the new moon, the first lunar day. Avoid heavy housework. Only creative tasks, knitting, embroidery, and such. It is also advised, do not pay debts. We all have debts like credit card debt, your bills, that's what they mean. Avoid paying bills on the first lunar day, and do not borrow on the first lunar day. No serious business negotiations on the first lunar day. And it is also said, the cosmic guidance said, that when we do dream, our dreams on the first lunar day shows or can show what will happen throughout the month. Cosmic guidance via the first lunar day also says, we should not strain our head, our brain, our face. And as it applies to our food intake, the first lunar day highly advises to avoid alcohol or hot food, like as in spicy food. I believe that's how I interpret the hot food. Avoid spicy food on the first lunar day. And for those that do engage in this hygiene activity, the cosmic guidance via the lunar day says the first lunar day is good for waxing. And for those that wish to do salt bath, it's a great opportunity for it. That completes my notes that I have been adhering to for the past 2 years of my life. Friends, wanderers, lovers of life, my brethren, you heard me right when I say 2 years. 2 years. I observed this information similar to you, possibly you might jump in and start to test this out on yourself. I didn't jump in to test it out on myself immediately. I simply observed it. And should you be interested in how I came about the Lunar Days, and since I've been following it for the past 2 years, going on 3 years, this year would make it 3 years now. Should you be interested in knowing how I came about that, I encourage you to watch the video here on my channel that I spoke on about Asian, or honoring the group that we call Asia, or the region that we call Asia. So I encourage you to watch that. Now I shall speak on the tips. For those of you that are interested to jump in, and you are something in your heart, just something about this speaks true, I encourage you to do your best. First of all, take it easy, be easy with yourself as you apply a lot of these good, helpful guidances from the cosmos that we are giving via these lunar days. First off, many of us go to work. I do too, okay? And I can tell you it's one of the things that I struggled with, as far as when the lunar guidance says, don't do group work, don't engage in new business. That was easy, because, I would just make sure not to, close any contracts. I'm a freelancer. I would just make sure that particular day, clients that are reaching out to me, I will not respond to their emails until after that day, until it was an optimal time to do so. On the other hand, there are, those of you that work in your corporate work. Well, the cosmic elders, in my experience, I don't speak for them, but I'm also speaking based off of the experience of engaging and working with my guards and guardians. So I say that to say, they are not unrealistic. They understand that here on earth we have day jobs, we go to offices. So as it applies to don't do group work, I'll leave that to your intelligence. I'll leave that to your divine intelligence for you to navigate it in the best way that you can. Because clearly, they're not asking you to quit your job and this, that, and a third. I believe they're wanting us to engage with our divine creativity and navigate those life situations. So you can do this should you want to do so. And I love especially this ask of engaging in creative task. They suggest knitting, embroidery, but the creative task can extend to painting, sewing, playing your guitar. That is a creative task. I would think so. So, and of course, the other part as to not paying debt. Some of you who are very organized have your life set up in ways where you have your credit card already in the system, for the card to go through, because you don't want to think about it. I encourage you to possibly then make that tweak there. There's a lot I want to say about this particular part, do not pay debt. But because I want to make this teaching, sharing concise and specific to the lunar days, I shall save that for later. So, as I was saying, possibly you can log into your various accounts where you have things on auto payment. You can change those and save it for a optimal lunar day when it is the best time to pay debt. Absolutely. And I shall tell you what that day is. And should you peek into the website, which is already in the description, you would know already what that lunar day is, what that moon day is, that it is the optimal to pay debts. Um, don't borrow. I mean, I think that is something all of us individually, that is one of the acts that can be done easily because we don't go about borrowing frequently anyways. But should you have a serious business or life purchase that you are wanting to make, and taking a loan here is how you want to go about doing that, please understand the new moon, the first lunar day, which is the new moon, highly suggest do not do so. Highly suggest for you not to do that. Um, and then the part about no alcohol and spicy food, and you know, do not strain your head, brain, or face. You, the individual viewing this, you know what day to day activities that you engage in. So possibly the cosmic intelligence via the lunar guidance, which is this, possibly they're wanting us to, of course, we're interacting with our devices. Possibly they want us to do less of that on the first lunar day. That is how I interpret that. And that leads me into that other part. You interpreting and how you receive this information, some of it on its face tells you don't do this, don't do that. And there are other parts of it that are certainly left to your own interpretation, because we are all divine intelligent beings and are capable of applying these wisdom optimally to our lives. And I won't go more into this because I want to reserve a lot of these wisdom to communicate with my gender, woman, and I will create a separate space for that. But you, the women, ladies, girls that engage in that bodily care, the new moon is the best. The first day of the moon is the best time to go and do that procedure of waxing or shaving, So that completes the guidance of the new moon as I have been applying it to my life for the past 2 years, now going on 3 years. May this teaching, sharing, recording be supportive to you in your day to day life, and most certainly in your spiritual journey. And I'll end it here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a blessed day.